Hey everyone, it's Andrea, and welcome to Scenes Out of Place. If you don't know, I have a short story book called Scenes Out of Place, where I have multiple stories that feature zombies, dragons, and surviving in space. And there are a couple more ideas that might fit into those worlds, but don't necessarily need a whole new book. So I'm bringing them to you in an audio edition. So sit back and enjoy some of the stories that didn't make it to the final edition, but still need to exist. Welcome to episode 3 of Scenes Out of Place audio edition. We're diving back into Touched by Dragonfire. A radio host who's unsure of her reach has some news to share with her small town. I hope you enjoy. Hello, my loyal listeners. I don't even know how many of you are still out there. I mean, who is still listening? It's been 416 days since the dragons came back, and things are getting weird. I mean, more weird than the fact that dragons are living, breathing creatures. For 406 of those days, I've been holed up in this old radio station, broadcasting what I know. I'm not sure how far my voice carries anymore. Maybe if you have those like hand crank shortwave radios, you're catching this, maybe not. Honestly, I was always the voice, never the tech. So I think the system that I threw together is working. Here's to hoping, but I still keep talking because what else is there to do? You know, in Apocalypse, you wonder what's next. Like, do schools still happen and all that stuff? I mean, we're a small town, very small town. And life is sort of just weird here. Not weird in a bad way, just different because dragons. Okay, I'm losing the plot. Let's get back to the story, the point of today's broadcast. Okay, so before I do that, I feel like I need to confess something to you guys. Because I don't know if I've ever really said this out loud. And if you knew me pre-Dragon Awakening, you know this. But if you didn't know me, I have to confess. I used to love dragons. Like, really love them. Posters, toys, books, mouse pads. If it had a dragon on it, I had it. I even had like those fake dragon eggs that hatch in water. Do you remember those? They were so cute. Like they grew, and then after they got to a certain size, it hatched, and there was like another dragon inside. Like, oh my God. It was so cool. Oh God. Can we just go back to when dragons weren't real? Okay. That was my little wish. Moving on. As a kid, I always thought dragons were noble and wise. I thought they look you in the eye and just know if you were good or bad. I thought they would protect the pure of heart. Yeah, that was a lie. Because dragons, they're animals. Giant, flying, fire-breathing animals. They don't care about your heart or your kids or your crops. They just burn everything they come into contact with. And they don't even eat the people, they just burn them. Or at least I haven't heard reports of seeing the dragons eat the people. If I could go back and talk to my 5-year-old self, I tell her to pick something else, like whales or horses or earthworms, anything else. Because dragons, they'll roast you like you're a barbecue platter on their 4th of July. Because I realize humans have this ability, or habit, I should say, of putting human emotions onto animals, expecting them to act the way we would, but their brains aren't wired like ours. They don't act like we do. So the dragon is doing what it does best. It burns things. It burns everything. It destroys. It's still beautiful, I hate to say, but man, does it destroy everything. Okay, moving on. So whenever I get to the market, people tend to ask me, what did I do before this? before the dragons because life is so, so very different. The truth is, I did this. I talked, I broadcasted, I kept people company through the airwaves. That part hasn't changed. What has changed is that I used to reach millions. Now, maybe a couple dozen, maybe 100 on a good day. I jerry rigged a signal with some parts I salvaged and got maybe a 2 mile radius on a clear morning. Still, I think it helps. I hope it helps. I don't really know how to do anything else. For me, this mic is home, and it still is home, even if the outside world has gone full horror movie. Correction, full fantasy horror movie. So here's what we didn't know 416 days ago. Apparently, dragonfire doesn't just kill, it changes people. You remember the first one, everyone does, and the cavern that was destroyed, that was the home to it. The cavern dragon, the black one, it took out the entire town. It burned men, women, and children. There was no mercy. And only like a handful of people made it out. So we assumed it was all like that, just mass destruction. But a couple of weeks ago, I heard from a source, someone from a few towns over, who saw something impossible. So when a dragon came and burned so many people to death, it was actually quite sad to read. But they didn't die. Like they burned, like burnt like a crisp, but they rose like phoenixes, and they were different. My source said one woman had pointy ears, not like costume ears, and they weren't burned. They were real pointy ears. So you know what that sounds like for me? What mythical creature out there has pointy ears? Say it with me. Elves. Yep, I think the elven race was started 2 towns over. I am not the first person to discover this. I am just reporting the news that I have received. But my source says there were dozens of them. Dozens. Elves exist, man. Like, they're real. They also said that they've heard rumors of people turning into trolls and some turning into mermaids if they were near like a coastal town. And when it comes to mermaids, I know you're thinking it because I'm wondering it too. Are they like the sweet and beautiful animated type mermaids, or are they like the dangerous siren kind? Personally, I sort of hope it's the sirens. I mean, they came from dragons. I don't see them being sweet and cuddly. But I doubt any of us will see a siren anytime soon because we're not living anywhere near the water. And if they're out there, I'm not sure I want to be lured to my death. I definitely would fall for it. So far, we've heard of 3 new mythical creatures existing: elves, trolls, and mermaids. That's the list, unconfirmed and wildly unverified. But that is the world now. So my warning is the same warning. Be careful of the dragonfire. But now, it's not just because you might die. It's because you might not. Okay, I have another unconfirmed report from a different source. And again, I am just reporting the news that I have been told. I have no firsthand knowledge of this. But if this report is correct, watch out because it's creepy. My source informed me that they were scavenging through a burnt out town near the edge of a mountain. They said the streets were black with ash. Windows were shattered, cars melted. So it was pretty confirmed that a dragon had been there. And because most people run and don't come back, they figured they might be able to find something usable to help them survive. But they got to this old courthouse building that hadn't been touched, and they saw torches inside with banners. So they did what any respecting journalist would do. They peeked their head in, and they saw people, like a group of people, like 12 of them, kneeling in a circle, chanting. They said they didn't get close enough to hear what was said, but they said on the banner it said the power of the ash, like ASH, like they were worshiping a pile of ash. They think that they believe the dragon flame is divine, that it purifies us. They want it to be ash. My source said that a woman stepped forward in the center and had glowing eyes and scales and was not quite human. Now, I don't quite believe that last part, but I definitely believe the cult part. We are over a year into an apocalyptic activity. It's about time cults sort of sprang up, you know? But they assured me that they saw that she had glowing eyes and scales. So, believe what you want. They didn't get closer to find out or verify to see if they were drawn on scales and if they were contacts. But they didn't ask questions, and I wasn't there to verify. So besides the magical mutations, it's possible we have dragon worshippers. So be careful. The world just keeps getting weirder. In the non-magical world news, supplies are running low and the farmers need help. So if you're able-bodied and willing, Solomon Farm, formerly the Franklin Farm, needs hands in that harvest. Guys, we don't have grocery stores anymore. There's no more electricity, or at least reliable. No supply chain. Just what we grow or what we're able to trade. So they can't pay in money, but they can pay in a half a week's rations, which is why you'll see me out there tomorrow as well, because a girl needs to eat. And the last update, it's a little sad, so brace yourself. Another source came through town. They had a report from the Capitol dated about 2 months ago. It stated we lost half our population. I don't know how they were able to make that calculation, but it's their belief that as of 2 months ago, half of our nation is gone. I didn't think that many people could die so fast. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring down the mood. But it's news. And I need to share it with you all. So, as I wrap up, just remember, as long as I can, I will be your voice in the static. I'm still here. I'm still hoping, possibly going crazy. But until then, until tomorrow, to my loyal listeners, stay safe, stay human, if you can. Signing off. Hey guys, it's Andrea, and I want to thank you for listening to episode 1 of Scenes at a Place, audio edition. I really hope you enjoy this short story, and I hope you stay around for the next ones. I love telling stories, and I cannot wait to bring another one to life. If you want to stay up to date to everything that I'm working on, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Patreon. The links to my information are in the show description. I can't wait to see you guys there.